This is the DallasCowboys.com Draft Show. Your war room for insider news and draft analysis from deep within the confines of Cowboys headquarters at the Star in Frisco. Now, your hosts, Vach Lombardi, Nick Harris, Bobby Belt, Tommy Yarish, and Kyle Yeomans.
Today is Tuesday, March 24th, and we are now 30 days away from the NFL Draft in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Welcome into the Draft Show presented by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. With Vach Lombardi, Nick Harris, Chris Beam in the back, I'm Kyle Yeomans. Tommy Yarish is boots on the ground at Pro Day at the University of Texas in Austin. Shocker. He's going to Texas Tech later this week, though, too. So.
Yep. I hear he's taking a road trip with a really interesting fellow.
Interesting fellow?
Yep.
Is that the word you would use?
Yep.
What were you going to use?
I don't know. It's gonna be
cuss
me.
word.
It's gonna be me.
Oh.
I've taken a road trip with Nick to Lubbock before.
We have.
Yeah. We road tripped out there once.
That was a crap trip. It was a good.
It was a crap trip.
Me and Tommy after Texas Tech's Pro Day on Thursday, we're stopping by Evie Mae's Barbecue in Wolfforth.
Evie Mae?
Okay. Evie Mae.
Evie Mae?
Evie Mae's.
Black woman?
About to find out. It's on the top 10 Texas monthly barbecue list. And
is it?
Back when I was working in recruiting, anytime I'd have a road trip, I'd try to hunt down one of those top 50s.
Yeah.
And this one's number 10. So I'm really excited about this one. So if you've been to Evie Mae's Barbecue in Wolfforth, tweet me or whatever, DM me. Let me know what to get. I don't eat pork. I don't do the swine.
I was about to say.
I'll do everything else. We got the brisket, the turkey. If there's chicken, I'm down with that. The sides, I got to be a big sides guy.
Oh, yeah.
If I'm not eating, pork ribs or anything.
I was about to say you don't eat pork, but I don't know Evie Mae personally. But I know the Evie Mae's of the world.
Right.
And they'll soak a brisket in pork. You know what I'm saying? Right. so be careful. Be careful. You know what I mean? Shouts out to Evie Mae.
It's all about intention.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
What doesn't know won't kill you, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Mac and cheese got a hog maw in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, stop it, Vach. I'm getting
I know people whose
You got to quit.
And these are white folk, but
they white.
Are they? Did you just look it up?
Yeah, dude. These are white folk.
I thought if your middle name was like May or like Jean and you said it back to back like that, I just knew it was us. Like Betty Jean, Evan, you know what I'm saying?
You get out deep enough in the country of Texas.
I was about to
Cindy
say
Ann.
that's different when you get like in the podunk parts of Texas.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, it's a little different.
I'm from Mississippi. I don't
I
know.
thought you were about to say Podell.
I don't know.
Not Garrett.
Shout out to Gary.
Shouts out to Gary. Man.
Yeah, GP. All right, 30 days out from the NFL draft, and yes, pro days are going on at the moment. Nick, I wanted to give you the floor to maybe update a list of the Cowboys that are at each of these pro days. We went through your list last week and kind of talked about what you had tweeted out there. And we can go through that same list again if you'd like, or if you have some other ones. I know Miami was one where Brian Schottenheimer, Will McClay, and Christian Parker were at yesterday. Lots of great draft prospects, as you know, there too. So what are some of the updates in that program?
I apologize. I'm trying to get this thing up in front of me, and my Wi-Fi is not cooperating.
That's okay.
But yeah. So yesterday, Brian Schottenheimer, Christian Parker, Will McClay, they were all at Miami, checking out all of the guys that they have there. How about Keontae Scott running sub 4.4? That was big.
Isn't it a 4.25 unofficial?
Yeah, I think it officially came in like 4.31, but like still. That's huge. He had a 42 plus vert. Really impressive pro day for Keontae Scott. And then obviously you look at Ruben Bain, Akeem Mesidor, all the guys that are there. Even Francis Malangoa. There were a lot of guys there that could make sense for the Cowboys moving forward. Today they are at the University of Texas. That is why our great friend Tommy Yarish is down there, which I find interesting that crew made it to Austin because I really only look at one, maybe two guys that make sense at least at the top of the draft for the Cowboys. One being Malik Muhammad, the corner. I think he's kind of a round 2, round 3 guy. He would maybe make sense at that 92 pick if he's still there. That's going to be a little bit of a far stretch for me. I like DJ Campbell, but I like DJ Campbell more as a day 3 guy, the interior lineman. He played right guard throughout his time. I think he has some left guard flexibility, though. They also have the edge, Ethan Burke. That's another day 3 guy.
Trey Moore?
Trey Moore, yeah, he's an interesting one. I think he probably goes early day 3.
He's fast.
Then you obviously have Anthony Hill as well. Yeah. I'd completely blanked on Anthony Hill. That's a second round guy. Could potentially sneak in back in first depending on how teams feel about him. But overall, I think that's big. Texas Tech on Thursday. That'll be huge as well. And there's another Lone Star State trip wrapped up in there as well. So they're hitting 4 pro days this week, and that crew getting busy.
And I saw your tweet last night about Linda Wells at down in Waco with Baylor, Michael Trigg, and Sawyer Robertson, or tight end, quarterback respectively. Josh Cameron, wide receiver that we really talked about a lot during Senior Bowl week because he was a standout during the week down in Mobile.
Yep.
What does that tell you about? Because there's reports all the way across the league. All 32 teams are having reports of, private dinner here, a meeting here. Not necessarily a 30 visit, but still contact between a lot of that back and forth. What does that tell you about what these teams are doing currently?
Yeah, it could mean something. It could mean nothing. With Michael Trigg specifically, the tight end out of Baylor, he's a fun player. He's a kind of a gadget player that I think will be really fun in the receiving game. His hands are up and down because he'll make the most spectacular catches over traffic, and then he'll drop like the most simple slant route, and you're like, how did that happen? So Michael Trigg, I think day 3 comfortably for me. It wouldn't surprise me though if a team swings on him on day 2. And then Josh Cameron, we've talked about quite a bit. Sawyer Robertson. I think that was just a nature of, hey, he's also on this team, and could end up somewhere where we might need to understand what's going on with him, and so that's why they go ahead and sit down with him. But overall, these dinners, they met with Harold Perkins before LSU's pro day on Sunday. Bless you, Kyle.
Thank you.
And Mansour Delane got a hard look from the staff this week as well at the LSU pro day. So it's more about just trying to take advantage of these opportunities as much as they can. They'll meet with Anthony Hill tonight, that was last night in Austin. It's just, again, doing due diligence.
Were you going to ask a question there, Voch?
I was going to derail the hell out you and ask, if the Cowboys were looking for a certain type of player when, because there are certain players that fit in these little hybrid, I play 2-spot things, but I don't want to derail what you said. But Nick did bring up another name. How do you think the Cowboys are valuing these dudes that maybe played linebacker 1 year and played edge for another year? I just looked at some names. So you talked about Perkins from LSU, linebacker, edge sometimes, and edge meaning like outside linebacker type guy, right? We talked about Moore from Texas. He's a guy that was like that. Keyshawn Elliott from Arizona State, Jay Sean Barham from Michigan, just names like that. Do y'all think the Cowboys are interested in dudes like that play both those kind of spots? Is that something that translate in Christian Parker's defense to where, you could play a inside, one time, or you'll play the edge this time, right? Like Maris Leofow was he was a off ball linebacker now, but now he's an outside linebacker as an edge guy. Yeah. I don't think they're going to be moving them back and forth like that. Should we be looking into guys that could move back and forth like that?
I think the versatility, we can look at the free agent ads and see that versatility is reigning supreme with a lot of these additions. So if they have versatility on the defense and they can play in multiple spots, that's going to check one box for Christian Parker, and arguably the biggest box other than, does the brain work?
Yeah.
That's the one that really stands out. I do have this pro day list in front of me if you
real quick, just to play off of your point before we get into that, the 4 additions that they've had all play multiple positions, or at least can play multiple positions. Yeah. Rashawn Gary, Jalen Thompson, Kobe Durant, Otito Ogbonnia. I mean, all those guys can do that and can play in multiple spots. Do you feel like there's more of an emphasis on position flex and versatility just because it's a multiple defense, or are we just looking at the resume and saying, they can do all of this, we'll see where it fits whenever time comes around and when training camp comes around?
I think it's a little bit of all of that. And I also want to point to previous drafts well before Christian Parker was even a thought around here that versatility was, a big part of, their drafting strategy. That's been kind of the Will McClay strategy over the course of the year. So it's kind of it makes sense why when you hear Christian Parker talk about, versatility and being able to play in multiple spots, you hear Will McClay talk about the same things. It makes sense why at least those two guys bridged concepts and philosophies whenever they met during the interview process.
Yeah. Kyle just made a really good point, too. Like, just because they played it doesn't mean that the Cowboys are looking for you to play it. Like Jake Gold, they played a bunch of nickel. Like, hey, dog, come on. You probably won't be doing that here. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's fair. Good point, Kyle.
Let's dive into some of these over the course of the last week. I'm not going to touch on the ones that y'all did last week. Let's see. Arkansas, Georgia Tech. Not only was Dallas present, but quarterbacks coach Steve Shimko was there. We could look at Haynes King. Which, again, I don't put a whole lot of emphasis into that because all of these position coaches are going to go out to pro days one way or another, whether they are drafting at the position or not. You can look at Lunda Wells. Are they going to draft a tight end? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know, but he's still out there going to see guys. Steve Shimko went to a couple of pro days last year, and they didn't draft a quarterback or even sign one undrafted. So I don't know, but something to keep in mind. Let's keep moving here. Sorry. Syracuse, Tarleton State, Abilene Christian.
Those are pretty normal for them. They'll go to these regional ones, and they're kind of the ones that help run it, to a certain extent. So like going to ACU and going to Tarleton, like that's a normal.
I'm about to say, who the hell played that? But please go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, this list is really messing with me. My Wi-Fi just went out. This is killing me. I'm sorry, fellas. Like this is not helping me at all. Yeah, we can start with those. I'm sorry, guys.
But there are some names, at least school wise, that you can utilize. Is this like your laptop or is this?
It is mine. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
We got to get that.
It doesn't.
What you looking for? You know what I'm saying? Mine might work.
Is it on your
I think the Star Wi-Fi really killed me today. No, I have this spreadsheet and it's just it's not working. I wish
can't
I
help
could.
you in your spreadsheet.
Yeah, I'm sorry, fellas.
That's okay.
Sorry, Nick Harris.
Yeah.
We'll just figure it out.
You win some, you lose a lot.
Any numbers or guys that have stuck out from Pro Day so far? Now, the Tennessee Pro Day is not happening yet,
March 31st.
Right? So that's right at the tail end of all of it. So that's the one that I think everybody kind of has circled just for Jamal McCoy to see him run and or do anything drill-wise, football-wise, and see what he looks like. But any other numbers or testing stick out from what you've seen so far? Maybe the Georgia Pro Day or some of those other big schools that have happened so far?
I hate combine numbers, dog. I mean, I hate all non-film numbers. I hate numbers.
Why?
Well, because I feel like I know who you are based on your film. So if you show up with these phantom numbers that I didn't expect, or you run much faster at your pro day than you did at your combine, I'm curious now how this happened. You know what I'm saying?
Then why do they matter?
Why do they matter? To who?
To you. To anyone.
Why do numbers matter to me?
They don't.
Something to talk about. Something to show up on the Dallas Cowboys. But when I watched, for example, Keontae Scott, right, Miami. When I watched him, I didn't see a guy that ran he was like a 4.2, 4.3?
Yeah, 4.31.
I didn't see 4.31 on film. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm thinking about Keontae Scott, I'm thinking about the type of guy that he is on film. Like just him playing nickel, which I think he's a safety for real, right? If he runs a 4.31, then he should have a lot more range to go play some safety stuff or to go cover different types of guys. I've seen guys kind of run past Keontae Scott. So now I got more questions. Now I'm trying to figure all this stuff out. Mansour Delane, I think people were kind of, if they were to knock him for anything, they would say that his size and they don't really know how fast he's going to run. And then Mansour Delane rolls out the bed and run a 4.3, 4.3, something like that. I just would rather trust the film first. If I'm in a room with other scouts or with you guys and they say, Vach, sell me on Mansour Delane. The first thing I'm going to say is I don't think that he runs. I'm not going to say, oh, he runs really fast. I'm going to lead with technique and how smart he is or his man coverage or route recognition, sticky, how he plays with his hands, how he's good in off coverage. I'm not going to be like, boy, I think he's going to run like a 4.3. That just ain't what I'm going to lead with. And then he goes out and runs the 4.3. So it could just be grumpy old Vach, the same way I feel about trades or whatever. I just don't lean into your magical combine numbers. I love what Bain and Messidor just did. They was like, hey, man, I ain't finna do a whole bunch of your nonsensical stuff. I'm about to hit this bag and y'all can watch that. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all watch my film and y'all know who I am. If, Messidor shows up and run a 4.4 or something like that, man, that ain't changing my mind. You know what I'm saying? Show me how you move. Show me how you know what I'm saying, do the hip thing. Show me how you hit the bag and do all this kind of stuff. They had Ruben Bain catching passes, and so that made me sick a little bit. You know what I'm saying? When I saw that little clip running around, but I just don't feed into the pro days. The pro days are more for the coaches upstairs than it is for me.
We also had, I got the spreadsheet working.
I was trying to chat until you got it pulled.
Nicely done.
I was trying to just run my mouth until your internet worked. Please.
Washington, Oregon.
Vash talks so much. Vash just
That was called the Vach Vamp.
Vash
That was
just
what that
yapping
was.
and yapping. Dog, I'm stalling for my man's internet at this $1 billion organization.
Yeah.
You got it.
Thank you, Nick.
Washington, Oregon, Georgia. At Georgia, outside linebackers coach Chijiro Uzuribe was there, but he also came from Georgia, so keep that in mind. Minnesota, Penn State, and that is what I have right now. And then, again, yesterday they were at LSU. The head coach and defensive coordinator and your VP of player personnel were at Miami. Today they're at Texas. Tomorrow they'll be at another Lone Star State stop. And then on Thursday, Texas Tech. So staying busy this week, and you can bet that they're going to have a large contingency at Tennessee next week as well.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what type of brass is in Knoxville next week. All right. We'll take our first break. When we come back, we're going to do some Twitter on the 20. Got some really good questions left over even from last week's Twitter on the 20 tweets. So I'm going to use some of those here when we come back with more of the Draft Show right after this.
Life is a workout, and Smoothie King is here to help you power through. Whether you're maxing out overhead presses, pushing through chest flies, or being the hero your golden retriever needs to carry them over that scary bridge, Smoothie King has the fuel to help you go all out. Build muscle and boost your recovery with 45 grams of protein, 0 grams of added sugar, and delicious customizable ingredients in the Gladiator Smoothie. Available in chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla. Only at Smoothie King.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Keith Davis here, former Cowboys safety.
Keith Davis into the end zone.
You know what separates champions from the rest? Making the right move at the right moment. With blockchain.com, that's never been easier. The Cowboys became America's team by striking bold when it mattered most. Now it's your turn. Invest like your icons with blockchain.com. Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys today to get started and learn more. That's blockchain.com/Cowboys.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Need a last-minute dish to bring to your Cowboys watch party?
You made it. The game's about to start.
Go for the quality, flavor, and convenience of a Hillshire Farm ciabatta deli sandwich. With flavors like Italiano, turkey and bacon, and chicken pesto, these sandwiches will make any crowd go wild. Found in the freezer aisle.
Hillshire Farm is calling.
This is the DallasCowboys.com Draft Show.
This summer, train where the stars are made with the Dallas Cowboys football youth camps and dance camps. Athletes of all skill levels, ages 6 to 16, are invited to learn from former NFL players and the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Step onto the field and practice like the pros. Register before May 15th to save $25. Visit DallasCowboys.com/camps to register. Back here on the Draft Show, presented by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. For the first time, second time really, because we showed it on Talking Cowboys earlier, the Dallas Cowboys Star Magazine Draft Guide is here. Got them in yesterday. They are available at pro shops in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex now. Go ahead and get your copy today. Scouting reports on over 100 players, in-depth analysis. Tommy Yarish's mock draft is in there too.
Who did he have?
For Dallas?
Yeah.
Let's see. That's
No,
good
for
question.
Minnesota.
The Minnesota Vikings. That he had a number 12. Oh, he went positive here. He said Reuben Bang Jr., edge rusher from Miami, is going to be there at 12.
Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that just
Wouldn't
work
that be
out?
nice? And then at 20, he had Dylan Thiedemann, Oregon safety. It's a pretty good draft haul.
That would be.
Would y'all rather take Thiedemann at 12 or 20?
You're not getting him at 20.
I don't think so either.
I got into a bit of a fight on Twitter this morning, man. It was just, don't even worry about it. Y'all go find it if you want to. But I see a lot more people that are talking about taking Thiedemann. If you get wiped out, they'll take Thiedemann at 12. And I'm just like, dog.
It's because they're listening to Nick Harris.
But a month ago, he was just a guy that, like, people was like, oh, yeah, I'll trade back from 20 and get him with some more picks. And now he's, like, at 12. And I was like, damn.
Because this thing happens called the Combine where you have verified numbers that
His
come
film
in.
ain't changed.
But the verified numbers, you get them in, and it makes the prospect a lot different because there were testing concerns. And I'll say this about testing. This is why testing should matter, Voch. We're going to fight right quick.
Please. Okay,
this
let's
is
do
why
it.
testing should matter.
Okay.
It's because when we're comparing Dylan Thieneman with, like, I don't know,
Caleb Downs.
Nah, that's a little different.
Don't be a phony.
Like AJ Halsey.
He's testing better than Caleb Downs.
He is, but I'm more so putting him in the echelon he was in. So, like, the AJ Halseys, the Emmanuel McNeil Warrens.
Of course.
And then when Dylan Thieneman comes out of the combine and he lays those verified numbers down, that make the athleticism so much more interesting. He just took you out of the 3 box. I don't know what happened there.
What the hell?
He's trying to set up a fight.
Kyle,
He's trying to put you in the 2 box.
I see what he's doing.
When they put those verified numbers down, then we know we can compare actual data that goes A for B. It's not an apples to oranges comparison anymore because these guys play much different levels of competition. And then you can look at these numbers side by side and you can be like, okay, that guy is that fast compared to this guy at this speed. And that's really the only actual data you can directly compare to where it's an apples to apples conversation.
So let me ask you this, and it may not be you. Let's just say it's them saying this, right? Why did we put Thieneman in the conversation with Halsey and McNeil Warren in the first place?
That's a good question because I've always had him in a first round. So
okay, well, I don't have him quite as a first round grade, but he's 17th on my board, right? And that's based on film. So if he's there with McNeil Warren, with Wheatley, with Halsey, right? I don't want to say, oh, I got numbers now. I'll take him at 12. I'll jump all these other guys and just put them at 12. I'm just so film guy, and I think just because you test, I didn't think Dylan Thieneman was an incredibly slow player. I thought he did fine for what his job asked him to do. But at the end of the day, even if he goes out and proves that he runs this 40 that he's been prepping and practicing for, these drills that he's been prepping and practicing for, but dog, like your film didn't change. You got the same film, whether it's Oregon or Purdue, and the Purdue film, in my opinion, is better than the Oregon film. Like the film is still the film. You know what I'm saying? So like, this ain't me fighting Nick Harris, but like, what is it about?
I agree with you there.
Yeah. Like, oh boy, this number. I knew he ran faster than Halsey because I know Halsey can't run. I think I felt like he was a better moving guy than McNeil Warren. But if I was in a room full of scouts, I'm not going to say, oh, Dylan Thieneman ran this damn 4.3. I'm like, oh, dog, put him on the roof. Did you watch Purdue? He ranged his hell. I saw this one play. He was at the hash, and he made it to the numbers, boy. He smart as hell, route regular, all this kind of stuff.
Which is right, but that's not the NFL, you know? And
for
so
sure.
It's like, hey, can this speed translate? Okay, let's get this speed on laser and we can see if that actually translates. And when he lays down the 40 that he did, I don't have it right in front of me. That can tell you, hey, he can play on the roof in the NFL because he can go stop to start that quick and be able to cover up that range. And so that's to me the value of these testing, even if you do prep for it for 8 weeks. And you know, if you gave a guy a 40-yard dash in the middle of November, it would obviously look a lot different than it would look in a combine setting. But it gives you an idea of what the max speed and what the max speed potential looks like for these guys. And I think with Dylan Thieneman specifically, the only question that he had preventing him from kind of being a bona fide first rounder coming into the draft process was the verified athleticism. It's like, is this guy average athlete or is he a good athlete? And he came out of the combine, in my opinion, approved to be an elite athlete. And so that's, to me, I was like, okay, that's a top 12, top 15 player.
4.35 40, 41-inch vertical, 10.5 broad.
And what the vert and the broad tells me, especially from the safety position, is you can explode and you can get off. And whenever that range that you need to cover up on the back end needs to actually manifest in an NFL game, you can do that. And then he has 4.35 speed to be able to help close that as well.
Maybe I'm grumpy old guy. And you ain't wrong, by the way. Maybe I'm grumpy old guy. But I feel like Thieneman, and we just played some highlights. Appreciate Beam and everybody in the back. I know he rangy because of the film. I don't need a number just because I know some people that run fast that ain't rangy because they just don't see it, and that's a part of their range as well. For example, there's this one play from Sonny Styles, right? Breaks up a pass in the back right end zone right before somebody scored, and he jumps high as hell and bats it down. If y'all probably seen it. I didn't need his vertical to know that Sonny Styles jumps high. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't need that. I think that everything that you want would check out on film. And there's actually this comment fighting me, and I think this is perfect. Jay Kells in the chat saying, Voch keeps saying that he's film guy, like everybody else ain't film guy. No, everybody else is film guy, but what I'm saying is film is first for me. Some people are like analytics. Look, the league using AI now. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of different ways to break this up.
I feel like everybody on this show would agree film is first.
Film has to be first.
It gotta be. And I think good scouts in the building and across the league agree that film is first.
Yeah.
It always has to be.
The Raiders will tell you that combine testing is first.
The Raiders suck at drafting.
And exactly. So I'm not sitting here saying that like combine testing is more important than what you see on film.
Yeah.
I think I'm trying to like pull away the percentage of how important.
Oh, yeah, I'm not fighting you. I'm not fighting you. But somebody out there is saying, "Oh, Dylan Thieneman showed that," and this might be you saying this, but but Dylan Thieneman ran a 4.3. He jumped from 29 to 10 on my board.
He didn't go that far for me, but he was already at like 17.
And that's
16,
that's the thing about Nick Hare and Vosh, really. He's 17 on my board. He's up there for you. He's a first round grade for you because the film checks out. I don't give a damn about his 4.3. He could have ran a 4.5. I'm like, hey man, Dylan run.
Still got it.
Dylan run faster than that on film. If AJ Halsey goes and run a 4.3, hey, Halsey don't run that on film. You know what I'm saying? So film is always first for me, is what I'm saying. I'm sorry, Twitter on the 20.
We'll add a couple questions.
I'm sorry.
We'll add a couple questions in the third segment.
That
we'll
is
be
an
fine.
important context.
Good talk, though.
It is very important context because everybody looks at it differently. You talked about percentages. Some people might be 75% film, 25% other stuff. And I'm not even just going to say like combine testing's the 25%. That's probably split up
much data
between combine and pro day and meetings and personality and whatever their coaches at the college level say. All of that is the case, and everybody looks at it differently. However, when you look at Dylan Thieneman in the first place, he's on the cover of the magazine partially because I stood on the table in our email chain and said, hey, he could go at 12 or he could go at 20. So we might as well throw him on the cover because there's a good shot he could be a Cowboy. Now, they didn't sign Jalen Thompson and P.J. Locke by this point whenever we were putting the magazine together. I still don't necessarily think it's out of the question that he is a possibility for the Cowboys. But we got some pretty good names on here. Go check it out. Pro Day or Pro Shops in person, I think they're available starting today. And then online probably within the next week or so. It'll be online. So time now for some
Twitter on the 20.
Way to be on it, B. Yeah, just 10 minutes late. That's all we got. My bad. Fitz wants to know, which pair would you like more from 12 and 20? Sticking with that conversation. Pairing number 1, Ruben Bain from Miami, edge rusher.
That one.
And C.J. Allen, linebacker from Georgia. That's number 1. Number 2, Mansour Delane, corner from LSU.
I knew he was going to do this.
And Dylan Thieneman, safety from Oregon, number 2. Number 3, Caleb Downs, safety from Ohio State. And at 20, they get Cassius Howell, edge rusher from Texas A&M. That is option 3. Once again, 1 is Bain and Allen, 2 is Delane and Thieneman, 3 is Downs and Howell.
I'm going to go with the preconceived notion that they add a linebacker in the trade market before the draft. And I love Caleb Downs too much. Even though I don't have Howell that high, the 20 high, I would take that pairing just because Caleb Downs there for you at 12 is a no-brainer.
I think Downs and Howell give you the 2 best guys, in my personal opinion. Just in my personal
Because you're pretty high on Howell.
I'm higher on Howell than probably Nick is. Let's see. Downs is my second guy, which is high as hell.
Yep.
And I have Howell. Howell's pretty down my list, actually. Howell is like my 22nd guy. So it kind of fits in that range. Yeah, it fits in that range for me. Actually, I'm lying now. So the better combo might be for me, Delane being my 6th guy and Thieneman being my 17th guy.
Oh, that's such a good combo, too.
That's a great combo because now
Because that's 2 first-round grades for me at the end of the day.
For sure.
Yeah. See, Bain and Allen are 2 first-rounders for me. Delane and Thieneman are 2 first-rounders for me. Downs is the highest out of the 6 names on that board, and Howell is one of the highest second-round grades that I have. He's 21 on my board, so he's right there.
Right there.
But I would take Caleb Downs over pretty much anybody there, and I like the fact that you get Caleb Downs in one spot. It's a cherry on top, whatever you do at 20.
Yeah, for sure.
That's just extra.
Yeah.
That's just something else.
The second best player in the draft, you could take whoever the hell you want.
I'm good.
You draft Cole Strange.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
All right, Patriots. We could do all of it. All right. What's the gap between the levels of linebacker prospects that you see on your board so far? For instance, and he used a couple of these, Styles to Jacob Rodriguez. Sonny Styles, Ohio State, Jacob Rodriguez from Texas Tech. Especially the gap between J-Rod and Hill and Goldlay and some of these other day 3 guys as well. Like, what is the breakup from the linebacker spot.
I guess I don't understand the question. I'm sorry.
How much of a gap is it between your top level prospects and the rest of your linebackers?
Yeah, I have Reese in the linebacker conversation. So I have Reese and Styles tier 1. I would put CJ Allen in like a tier 2, and then Anthony Hill at like the bottom of a tier 2. And then we start talking about top of tier 3 with Jacob Rodriguez, Jake Golday. I would throw Kyle Lewis in that conversation.
For that, people would say that you hate
Torian York.
People would say that you hate Rodriguez, because I'm seeing some people saying that we should draft him at 20. I think 20 is a bit high for him, but why wouldn't you put Rodriguez higher?
I just have him in the third tier of linebackers there.
And I agree with you.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, and
why do you have him there?
He plays a bit more stiff than some of these other guys at the top, and I'm not saying Jacob Rodriguez is a bad player. I don't need Texas Tech fans in my comments now.
Fair play.
They're already going to be there.
But I tell you what, if there's a situation where the Cowboys trade back into the late 20s and they pick him up, I wouldn't have a problem with that. At 20, might be a little rich. I think you're going to have a sweet spot of some pass rushers there that make more sense. And again, I think you're going to have your linebacker on the team before then too.
So I got Styles as my 13th player. Allen is my 27th player. Golday is my 33rd, so they're kind of close. There's a bit of distance between Styles and Allen and Golday. A little further down, I got Trotter as my 42nd player. Hill is my 53rd. Rodriguez is 57. Both those guys are kind of close. And that goes first round, second round, third round, or whatever. Y'all can kind of figure it out from there. I just wanted to give y'all the numbers associated. And I got Jayshon Barham as linebacker as well, but he's he's 70 for me.
Yeah. Casey wants to know.
What's up, Casey?
Which players in the first round would qualify as quote-unquote brainworks players that Christian Parker talks about, in your opinion?
First round players?
What you've heard.
A lot of them, honestly.
That'll go in the first round or first round grades?
Let's go first round grades. Why not?
Let's go. I say go in the first round because 20 is going to
That's fine.
be part of the
That's
conversation.
fine. Whatever you guys want.
Okay.
So CJ Allen, this first one.
That's the first one that
smart.
popped in.
I think Mansour is very smart. Caleb Downs is very smart.
Sonny Styles.
CJ Allen's very smart. I think Colton Hood feels the game really well. So I would say that he's smart. Think him in the smart. I think Wheatley's brilliant, but he's fast with his brilliant.
Yeah.
And his fast may make him seem more brilliant. I don't know, but I would put him in smart as well. I think Emmett Johnson from
Nebraska.
Running back.
Yeah.
I think he sees the game really well. Really, really well. And he can block and catch.
Great vision, too.
I think he's smart. Connor Lew is a center. He probably won't go first round. I'm just looking at the top of my second round guys. I think Caden Proctor is very interesting with his hands, and that could count as smart as an offensive lineman.
Do you have him as a guard or tackle?
He's a big-ass tackle.
I think he could play guard, too. I think he might be better at guard.
I have him at tackle. But yes, having a 6'7" guard would be interesting.
Yeah. I think if you take away some of the issues that he has athletically around the edge and put it inside and let him kind of work his hand fighting more, put him in a phone booth, I think he would be really tough to overcome. Yeah.
Also, too, Cowboy 30 visit wide receiver Omar Cooper. No, he's smart.
Okay.
I can tell he's smart just by how he sets up routes and kind of how they do the little option stuff in that offense or whatever. You have to be smart to do that kind of stuff. So I got Omar Cooper as well.
I was asked yesterday on a different platform about, hey, Omar Cooper, why are they bringing him in for a 30? And I figured I'd answer that here as well.
I asked last week.
Yeah, it's a situation of every year there's 2 or 3 guys that the Cowboys will bring in that they think will end up in the division. And with Omar Cooper, very well can make sense for Philadelphia if they trade A.J. Brown. It can make sense for New York, especially with the injury to Malik Neighbors. Shoot, it can make sense for Washington. So that is one that I have immediately pinned as like, I think that's a division spy job.
But they got 2 receivers in their 30 visits now, though, right?
Omar Cooper. Who else? I haven't really written them down yet.
Who's the cat they having? Is having dinner considered 30 visits?
No.
Oh, well, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
But they have
about Josh Cameron, the Baylor wide receiver?
I haven't seen him, but they having dinner with a receiver, and I thought that was the same thing.
No, that doesn't count as a 30 visit.
So we can go eat with folk, but that don't count? Okay.
I think so.
Hey, man, bend the rules, man. Do what you got to do.
I don't know if it's bending. I think there's gray areas.
Cowboys having dinner with 100 people.
Yeah. I think it's a part of the pro day process. That's where that is considered in terms of meeting.
Whatever you got to do.
Yeah, whatever you got to do.
But it's still interesting that they're talking to a receiver.
We're going to look up on draft weekend and Omar's going to go to a divisional foe, and we're going to remember this conversation. And
Yeah.
people are going to be in the chat pinning this day and pinning this conversation. 30 days out, Nick Harris had it pegged. He was going to the Philadelphia Eagles, or he's going to the New York Giants, or wherever he ends up going.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that'll be fun. All right. Josh wants to know, who was the most polarizing player in the NFL draft?
Polarizing.
Keldrick
Falk is certainly up there. There's a lot more hate on Keldrick than I think. I'm trying to find one that
why
has like.
is that?
It's just because of the pass rush production and the pass rush
lack of numbers.
Well, pass rush specifically, he just doesn't have. He's really raw. He's going to be 20 when the NFL season starts. He's got this amazing athletic frame at 6'6", 276 pounds, but he hasn't really shown he knows how to use it just yet. I am under the belief that, hey, if he ended up getting drafted with the 20th overall pick to this team, that he would be able to work with two pass rush specialists in BT Jordan and Chidera Uzodiribe and maybe help accelerate that development a little bit. And I think we would look up by the end of his rookie contract and be like, okay, hey, that was a pretty solid pick, but that's going to take time. That's going to take a team that is willing to be patient. And I think he has the tools, and I think he has the mindset to be able to eventually be a plus pass rusher in the NFL, but it's going to take time and it's going to take the right development.
Also, too, I don't quite hate Falk. It's just that Mesidor whoop ass right now. Like he's ready. R. Mason Thomas, I feel like he can go. Melo High can go. So however you got your edges ranked or whatever, I just think that Falk's not a bad player. If you have a coach that'll put him in a role that fits him perfectly, he could be a great player for you. But when you start putting him versus other dudes, he'll just naturally fall down that list.
I have that gut feeling that we're going to be looking up at 20, and Falk is going to be not in the conversation, but the conversation. I just have that feeling that it's going to. And then if he ends up being the pick, we're going to be sitting here on draft weekend also saying, guys, he's a good player. He can do things. He wasn't very productive. We're going to have to kind of play that card, even though I think all of us are going to agree there's probably better players on the board at that point.
I would just rather Falk be 20 than 12. I've seen some mocks that got him top 10, which I think is crazy.
I don't know about that one.
Insane.
I feel like that one's probably a little bit more out there. All right.
You would rather have him at 20 than 12?
I would rather have him at 20.
At 20, then 12. Okay, we all agree.
I'm saying,
yeah, I got you.
I'm agreeing with you.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I think him at 12 or in the top 10 is wild.
Crazy.
All right. When we come back here on the Draft Show, I actually do have a couple other Twitter questions that we have not gotten to.
Sorry, Kyle.
We're going to answer a couple of those. Plus, we're going to talk about a little bit more of these pro day numbers and some of the things to talk about there as well. More of the Draft Show right after this.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
He's at the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Cowboys.
What's better than game day? How about the convenience, flavor, and protein of an all-new Hillshire Farm ciabatta deli sandwich? With flavors like Italiano, turkey and bacon, and chicken pesto, these sandwiches help make any Cowboys watch party a victory.
Cowboys win.
Found in the freezer aisle.
Hillshire Farm is calling.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Keith Davis here, former Cowboys safety.
Keith Davis into the end zone.
You know what separates champions from the rest? Making the right move at the right moment. With blockchain.com, that's never been easier. The Cowboys became America's team by striking bold when it mattered most. Now it's your turn. Invest like your icons with blockchain.com. Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys today to get started and learn more. That's blockchain.com/Cowboys.
This is the DallasCowboys.com Draft Show.
Back here on the Draft Show presented by Miller Lite. Lone Star Smokeout is back in Arlington April 24th through the 26th. Watch headliners Riley Green, Shabuzi, Cole Wetzel, and more at this 3-day outdoor country music festival. Plus, enjoy a barbecue from some of the best pitmasters in the country. Get your tickets now at SeatGeek.com, the official ticketing partner of AT&T Stadium. Back with Foch Lombardi and Nick Harris. Couple more questions from the Twitter on the 20 segment that we weren't able to get to today.
Apologize.
When it comes to the green dot for the Cowboys, Gabe wants to know who is wearing the green dot on defense and what's the possibility of it being a rookie for Dallas this year?
It'll have to be a dude that they trade for, right? Like,
ideally,
if we just assuming what this Parker's defense is going to be, it's going to be closer to calculus and algebra. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't want to throw that on the rookie that's been calling some defense in college. You know what I'm saying? You may have made all the calls in college, but what was your defense versus Christian Parker's defense? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would rather that be a veteran dude that's been in the league, and then that veteran guy be the bridge guy for next year. Could your will linebacker do it? I mean, possibly. Could your nickel or something? Could one of your safeties be a guy like that? I mean, possibly, but I think they want the Mike to do it, and I think that'll have to be some dude that ain't here right now.
There's two rookies I would maybe trust in that situation. Sonny Styles, just because he worked under Matt Patricia, and then C.J. Allen.
Those are 1,000%.
That's it.
Yeah.
I want to go into some.
Can I add one more?
Yeah.
I would say Golday because you have to be smart if you play 4 different positions.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Golday will do like both linebacker stuff. He'll do edge things. Then he'll like play nickel and stuff. I think you have to be somewhat smart if you're doing all that in like one game. So I would assume that Golday's smart. But the knockout picks there are Sonny and CJ for sure.
Golday from Cincinnati is what we're looking at right here on the tape here. I want to talk about day 3 wide receivers. And Nick, you brought this up in our group message as well. Because of maybe the conversation that Vach brought up in the last segment with Dallas still having an eye on possibly adding a wide receiver, maybe with one of the multitude of day 3 picks. Remember, they got a 4th-round pick, they've got 3 5th-round picks, and then a 7th-round pick. So they have some darts to throw at the dartboard at a possible wide receiver late. Are there names that could possibly be in that conversation already for you, maybe not for Dallas quite yet, but that you might be keeping an eye on?
Yeah, so, with Jalen Tolbert going to Miami, there's a clear hole there for someone to step up and take a receiver spot on this team, and it could be someone that's already here, whether it be like a Trayshawn Holden. Maybe he's, really improved on special teams over the course of his rookie season and can step in and take one of those 5 spots. But realistically, I think it probably comes from a day 3 pick in the draft. And so the first question I think we have to ask is, what kind of receiver does this team need in that role? For me, it would be a bigger guy that can play on special teams and actually have an impact on special teams with a bigger frame. And I also want a guy who you can bring in on, hey, it's 2nd down and CD or George Pickens, they need a breath right quick. Can he take a quick route and make a big play out of it? And when you check all those boxes, for me, I look at Jeff Caldwell out of Cincinnati. One of the more athletic players, not only in this draft from a receiver standpoint, but I think this is the 3rd year I've done the draft show. This is one of the more athletic guys I've seen, period. He is an absolute machine at 6'5", 216 pounds, ran a 4.31 at the combine, had a 42-inch vert, 11.2 broad, was a transfer from Lindenwood in Division II ranks in the Ohio Valley Conference, and made his way to Cincinnati for this last season in the Big 12. And there was a little bit of a talent discrepancy, obviously, between those two programs. But when he got to Cincinnati and he was playing against Big 12 secondaries, you saw that speed, you saw that athleticism still translate. I think there's still some things that he needs to work on in his game. But if you're talking about straight line speed, oh my goodness, he's got it. And if you can find a quarterback that can put the ball under him, a Dak Prescott, and then this is the play right here, absolutely, where it's a perfect example of him being able to get it from their quarterback at Cincinnati. I'm blanking right now, transferred to Tech, Lake Dallas kid. But
I don't know.
God, oh my God, Brendan Sorsby.
Yeah,
but
literally, like, that's what is it, $10 million man now?
Something insane. Yeah. We'll probably see him at the Texas Tech Pro Day throwing some routes. But anyway, Jeff Caldwell, you see that big frame. I would like to see him work these contested catches a little bit better because he has the frame to really bring them down, especially in red zone scenarios. But still, over the course of his last 3 seasons, he had 24 touchdowns. He's had big plays each of those 4 years from Lindenwood going to Cincinnati. This reminds me a lot of Dante Thornton from last year. And I was a big Dante Thornton guy. He ended up getting drafted by the Raiders, of course. So if you're looking for a potential Raiders pick on day 3, this one makes sense as well. But I like Jeff Caldwell a lot. And then we've talked about Josh Cameron quite a bit, the receiver out of Baylor. I'll also throw in Eric McAllister, receiver out of TCU, production machine. He can have a big game with a ton of chunk production. There was a game early in the season where he ended up with 4 touchdowns, over 250 yards, and like 12 receptions. I'm a big Eric McAllister fan as well. I think he's probably, if we're talking value, day 3 value, Eric McAllister might be your guy.
Could he be one of those guys, maybe 6th round, 7th round?
I don't think that far deep. I think you probably
so
have
maybe
to take
one of the
him,
3 5th-round picks then.
I think you might have to take him at 112.
Wow.
But
okay.
If you feel good about where you have addressed needs elsewhere on day 1 and day 2 and potentially trade market, I think this would be a great ad. I'm a big Eric McAllister fan. Maybe he doesn't have as much speed as you want, but that's why he's in day 3. I think he's just a route running machine. He knows how to get open. He knows how to create separation.
Nick Harris brought up a fantastic point that I haven't considered, or that I had not considered, that your day 3 receiver going to have to play team somewhere. So you either going to be big enough to tackle, or you're going to have to be like a return guy or something like that. So just running down some names. Just the first name that kind of jumps out to me as somebody that could be a day 3 guy. And y'all can stop me at any minute, because I know some of my day 3 guys going to be day 2 guys for you. That's the fascinating thing about this wide receiver draft in general. But Ted Hurst.
Stop.
From Georgia State.
I'm just messing with you.
For Ted Hurst from Georgia State. The reason he might be
Senior Bowl.
He's fantastic, but dog, he played at Georgia State. Great size, 6'4", 205. He moves well, run routes really well. For a wide receiver that's tall like that, I think he gets really low in his routes, and you don't really see a whole bunch of tall cats be able to, bend or get low or like turn really well. He's very leggy, but he's not leggy in a way that is like messing with his movement or anything like that. Great first step, release, and all this kind of stuff. I got my notes separated in 2 categories, right? Regardless of his competition and because of competition, right? So regardless of whoever the hell that he's lined up against, right? He is a nice route runner to be 6'4", smooth route runner for a 6'4". He does make plays down the field. He tracks the ball really well. It don't matter who you lined up against. If you tracking the ball, plays downfield, it don't matter who you line up against. If you got it, you got it. Hip sync and all that, great hands, and he's tall. Yeah. Regardless of who he's lined up against, that's good to go. Now, because the fact that he's lined up against whoever the hell he's lined up against, that they may or may not be in the league, whatever. I don't trust when he's running past people all the time. Like, he makes plays down the field. I don't know if he's going to run past SEC guys or Big Ten guys like that. To Nick's point, he had a really good Senior Bowl and all that. Hey, we can go back and watch that film and kind of break that down. But based on the film that I saw, he was running past dudes that probably won't be in the league. I thought he was a really good yak guy as well to be his size. But he's running over dudes that probably won't be in the league. So you'll have to think about those things when you're watching him play at Georgia State versus whoever. But I don't know if his down the field speed or if his yak ability is going to translate. But just based on the fact that him versus competition, Georgia State, whatever, but I do like him enough. I got him in the 4th round. I got him behind guys like Brazel, Lane. Skylar Bell is a guy that I have in the 4th round from, I believe, like Florida Atlantic, I believe. Now, he's a guy.
Skylar Bell?
Skylar Bell? UConn. Yeah. I was looking at the white and blue stuff. The jerseys mess me up sometimes. Yeah.
One's a Husky, one's an Owl, one's in Florida, one's in...
I don't know all the mascots. I just learned that Idaho had a mascot that just bothered the hell out of me. So let me have this conversation with y'all. The small dudes that are yak guys.
Yeah.
Right? You have to do something that separates them. Skylar Bell is a smaller guy that's a yak guy.
Yep.
Super explosive, but I think he runs routes really well. Mm-hmm. Productive. They get a lot of passes to him. You know what I'm saying?
He was their whole offense.
The entire offense.
Their offense.
Right? The reason I got him in the 4th is, okay, are you offense dependent? Can you do it by yourself or whatever? That's why I got him down in the 4th. But I think he does separate himself with how he gets open. Press coverage will kind of whoop up on him a little bit, but he's little. What you expect? These 3 guys that I have down here who are also yak guys and smaller guys, but I got them way down my list. They're also day 3 guys, but they're separate from Skylar, is Kevin Coleman from Missouri, Zach Branch from Georgia, and Brennan Thompson from Mississippi State. I think they all run 3 routes. funny enough, they all run 3 different routes. Branch is more of I'm going to catch a bubble, I'm going to catch a slant, I may run it out. I think Thompson is more of I'm downfield or a bubble or a slant. Coleman is like, I'll run more of a deep crosser. I'll navigate your slant and catch it late and like corners or whatever, right? So they all kind of run 3 routes to me, but they're all in their own respect shorter yak guys, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think they all run routes really well. Bell is a shorter guy that runs routes, and he runs a ton of different routes, and he's somebody's entire offense. These dudes get busy on bubbles, but I think that they're all day 3 guys, and they'll be like return guys for you. Like they could be really, really good return guys. So there's your team's return in that regard. But I have those dudes down there because in this draft in particular, which makes it weird, you got taller yak guys that run routes better than them, that are bigger than them. So like Jeremy Bernard from Bama.
Yep.
He's a bigger yak guy that's also a better route runner than them.
Yeah.
So I'm pushing small guys down the board. Surratt is a bigger yak guy that runs routes better than them. CJ Daniels from Miami is a bigger yak guy, and Antonio Williams from Clemson is a bigger yak guy. So now I'm like, damn, dog, I know a lot of people, some of our, peers, they got some of these smaller yak guys up in day 2. I can't put the smaller yak guys in day 2 because they don't run routes as well as the bigger yak guys, and they are better in their offense. And some of these guys are 1,000-yard guys. I believe Branch, 600, 400 something?
Brendan Thompson led the SEC in receiving.
In what?
In receiving.
How many yards he got?
1,000.
I must be thinking
over
about
1,000.
I must be thinking about Branch in that way. But
yeah, but Branch had a lot of yards too.
Yeah, something like that. So the problem that I have in this draft, stacking these guys, and Kyle, you really ain't asked this, but I'm pushing those guys down to day 3 because I feel like I can find yak guys that run routes that are bigger in day 2 somewhere.
Does this not go back to the conversation of high floor versus low floor, high ceiling, that kind of conversation? Because you're talking about, again, back to the film that we talked about in the first segment, too, of you're watching the film and you're seeing what they did. They ran 3 routes. They did different things well.
Right.
But at the end of the day, they're still similarly built as fast, smaller
guys.
yak guys.
Mm-hmm.
When I look at Zachariah Branch and I look at what he did well,
super explosive,
the speed, the acceleration, my gosh, he goes 0 to 60 really, really quickly. I thought his hands were solid. I thought, of course, he's got the yards after the catch ability. He had some return game because you talked about special teams element. He was utilized in the return game and on those screen passes a lot. I do agree with you. He ran 2 or 3 routes, and he was most dangerous off of screen plays. What was the number you gave?
48% of his production at Georgia came on screen routes.
That's wild.
That's
wild.
That's most of it.
That is half of his production.
If you got 10 targets, 5 of them was bubbles.
You're on a bubble screen. Now, that's how they used him.
That's how they used him.
And he was in an offense that had some other bigger wide receivers outside of it. A couple of those guys went to, the Shrine game. I think it was Dylan Bell and Kobe Young. Those are these. So he had 3 other wide receivers or 2 other wide receivers and a tight end that are NFL draft bound that he was having to share the rock with, and those were bigger bodied, outside traditional built wide receivers. Then you've got Zachariah Branch, who was used kind of as a gadget guy. I don't think they asked him to do more than 3 things.
Sure.
So in my opinion, I see the traits and I see his ability and I see where he's going to fit in a system that where if you can utilize him even in 2 more ways, let's say he does 5 routes.
Sure.
And he adds 2 more branches to his route tree.
Yeah.
All of I didn't mean to do that one. Thanks. But you add 2 more to the route tree.
Just say branches again.
Yeah, branches. Then I think he's automatically going to be a weapon at the next level because of the traits and because of what he brings.
This is my problem. You're not wrong. You can probably develop Zachariah Branch into more of a, some guy. But if you take him in day 2.
Exactly. Now you're depending on where you're taking him.
So now I'm like, oh boy, KC Concepcion run a whole bunch of routes and he's a yak guy. You know what I'm saying? Bernard Cooper, you see what I'm saying? So it's where you put him, and I'm like, man, I got a better dude to do that.
Yeah.
So it's not like I hate these guys. They just fall down my list because other guys do their job bigger.
Yeah, he's got one of those 3-4 cheater grades for me right now, and I'll clean that up when we get closer to draft weekend. But that's why. Because I don't expect him to come in and immediately be a franchise wide receiver or one of these top-end starters. He's going to be in a rotation, and he's going to be used in certain gadget situations as a rookie and then on special teams as a rookie.
Let me ask y'all this. If y'all put Turpin in a college player's body and put him in this draft, where would you draft him?
Ooh. It's a good question.
Because I think some of these guys are going to be Turpin type guys where they got a big play a game, a bubble, and like another thing, and then they're going to go lean on some other receiver, go do stuff.
I'd probably put him right around where I'd have Branch.
In the fours?
Yeah, 3-4. Something like that.
I don't value the return game as much as some people do.
Me neither.
I'd put him in like the 5th.
That's why I got these guys 5 and 6s. Yeah.
The thought there is if we're talking about Turpin coming out or whatever it ends up, you're saying knowing what we know now about his development.
TCU Turpin is a different guy than how the Cowboys use him.
That's kind of what I was saying. It's
Right.
like I would want more receiver ability, which I think I'll get from Zachariah Branch.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that from Kevontae Turpin. He hasn't developed as a receiver the same way. He is a one-trick returning pony that you can just kind of roll with on special teams.
Yeah, I think the fascinating thing with these guys as well is you talk about, hey, if you only have 3 routes you can run, sometimes you can't even rely on those 3 routes because opposing defense coordinators in the NFL, they'll know that, and they'll jam the hell out of you at the line. And if you're a little guy, you're not getting out of that. And we've seen so many of these speed return guys who are productive at the college level can't quite find their footing in the NFL because of that. So I align with Vach's thinking here as far as, these guys probably being comfortably day 3. I will say I like Zachariah Branch's physicality a bit more than the other, so I have him as the 3rd. But I saw a mock draft this morning from Field Yates at ESPN.
What'd he say?
He had Brennan Thompson in the 2nd round.
Ooh,
that's heavy.
In the 2nd round.
To Las Vegas or where?
To the Philadelphia Eagles.
I love it.
Take it.
Shouts out to you.
He actually grew up an Eagles fan. His mom would love that. But yeah, that would be wild. That'd be wild.
A couple more names just because we're at the end, man. Cyrus Allen from Cincinnati. Who's another Cincinnati guy. He's a little dude that can run routes, so I'm kind of separating him a little bit in that way. Not as much of a yak guy as some of these other guys. He's a cool yak guy, but he's not. He's not a yak guy like them. I just value route running, and Malachi Fields will probably tackle the hell out of somebody. Now I don't know where people gonna put him, but he does. Nick, he doesn't test well, but on his film, like he wasn't all that fast on film neither. But if you're looking for a day 3 receiver that's going to do catch ready stuff, jump ball stuff, and he is big enough to probably go out there and hit somebody on teams, whatever. Malachi Fields another day 3 guy for me. And you shouldn't scout the helmet, but I do with Tennessee wide receivers. I like Chris Browse, but he's a Tennessee wide receiver, so I got him in the 4th because I'm scared.
Go back and watch his previous tape at other spots. I think you'll like Brazel. Still,
let me tell you something. I like Brazel.
Yeah,
contested catches down the field. He jump over people. He be bullying folk. I get it, but I'm a coward, and that Tennessee stuff just don't be sitting right with me, man. I'm leaving where I got him.
I'm interested to see how you guys lean on this. I've found myself liking this draft class more the deeper I get into it.
Yes,
from wide receiver.
Yeah.
Specifically, like at first I looked at it and I was like, man. Yeah, you've got Jordan Tyson and Carnell Tate, and I like those guys a lot. Mekhi Lemon's a really good player. But outside of that, it's a lot of other guys, in my opinion. Because I have Chris Bell up there, Denzel Boston up there, Bell from Louisville, Boston from Washington.
Bell's nice.
He's very fun.
ACL
He's a good player. Exactly. Yeah. So I have the names up toward the top, but I never really looked at this wide receiver class as being the high-level wide receiver class that we've seen in the past where 10 guys can go in the top 50 picks.
Yeah. I think there's I'm sorry. I thought you were done.
No. The more I get into it, though, I look at early portions of day 3, the 4th and 5th round guys, I think there's a lot of possibility there. Yeah. There's a lot of talent there. I mean, whether it's the Omar Coopers that you mentioned from Indiana or the Fields from Notre Dame and Cameron, who I really like out of Baylor, even Ted Hurst from Georgia State, as Vach mentioned, I'm high on him too. Like, there's guys in that 4th, 5th, 6th round that I think are going to come in and make rosters immediately at wide receiver.
Yeah, I don't feel great about the day 2 talent at receiver, but
day 3.
The day 1, day 3,
yes.
Sure. I think there's a huge gap.
I agree with you.
I think there's a huge
where
gap.
they probably end up drafted or like board stuff, because I think I'm
board stuff.
I'm just looking at because I'm looking at my board, man. Day 2 is where all my guys at. Concepcion, Cooper, Bernard, Surratt, Bell's hurt, but Bell's film is fantastic. Boston, C.J. Daniels, talked about him. Williams, Burke, like it's some dudes.
I only have 6 day 2 grades.
At receiver.
Interesting. I only have 6 day 2 grades.
And
you mentioned most of them right there. Bell, Branch, Concepcion, Brazel. Like those are kind of the guys there. Everybody else, like when I look at 4th and 5th round only, I've got 14
Damn.
Like it is loaded there in that middle part of day 3.
Where you got C.J. Daniels from Miami?
4th.
A 6'2" yak guy whooping that. People in the chat hate me saying yak. Route runner and all that. 4th round.
Okay, I'll go back for you. I have him
in the 5th, so I need to go back a little bit.
It's almost April. Y'all ain't got to go back. We're running.
I got time to go back.
I don't know why I saw him in person when they played SMU.
Yeah.
I wasn't super blown away by it.
I think him and Antonio Williams are so slick. These two might be top 5 route runners in the class.
I have Williams much higher.
I value route runners though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And y'all may like, shorter people that catch bubbles and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But it's, whatever y'all like, you know what I'm saying?
I like it. All right. That does it for us here on the Draft Show. We got to get out of here. Appreciate you as always. We will be back on Thursday now.
Are we? Is Nick going to be here?
Nick is not here. It is just you and I and possibly a special guest.
We going to figure it out if it's just me and you, Kyle.
Oh, I know.
No pressure. I could talk all day. The chat knows.
The special guest might be the phone line. Who knows? We're going to see what ends up happening. But we have somebody lined up. I'm going to keep it a secret for now, though, that we would have on Thursday. But that does it for us. For Vach Lombardi, Nick Harris, Chris Beam in the back, I'm Kyle Yeoman saying so long from the Draft Show. We will see you on Thursday.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!